Top 5 best attack strategies to help you crush it at Th13 in 2025. Let's go. At number 5, we have the Electro Smash attack strategy. Works great on compact multi-inferno bases. This is the general army composition. Make small changes according to the target base. And these are the hero equipments we will be using for the strategy. You can also use the Giant Gauntlet and Rage Vial on the King. Now this strategy is pretty easy and straightforward. Create one side of the funnel with Flame Flinger, and the other side with the heroes. Then charge the Electros through the middle from the Town Hall side. And that's all. Enjoy your 3 stars. So here on this base, we will attack from this side since it allows us to secure the Town Hall nice and early. We can also go from this side as both of them are symmetrical. Flame Flinger here will clear all these things and create funnel on this side, while the heroes will take down all these things and complete the funnel on this side. It will leave us with this narrow path for the Electros. They will move like this. We will zap out this sweeper to make sure Electros don't have to face any sweeper throughout the attack. An early Warden ability with Rage Spell will get us through the Town Hall. RC will come into later stages to help them clear the back end and snipe out any remaining air defenses with the Rocket Spear. That's the plan. Let's do the attack now. Alright, let's start with the Flame Flinger since it is very slow. The giant in front will check for any possible hidden Teslas. Now remember, whenever you use a Flame Flinger, deploy it a bit away from the Expos, since it can also outrange the Flinger other than the mortars. Alright, let's use the Baby Dragon on the other side to create a little bit of funnel for the heroes. Even though it wasn't required here, but I still used it to keep it generalized, because it works great on most of the bases to make sure heroes don't go in the wrong direction. Zapped out that sweeper as we planned earlier. Now all we have to do is wait for the Flinger to create a solid funnel before deploying the heroes and Electros. Since funneling is very important in this attack, we can give it up to 1 minute to complete the job. Alright, the heroes are out now. They will keep the Electros centralized. As I always recommend, throw in an Ice Golem to get the maximum value out of them. Early Warden ability with the Rage Spell will make the Electros enter the base with high momentum, and they will literally one-shot most of the buildings due to that. The Healing Tome on Warden will keep them topped up and don't let them go down easily, so they can keep up the momentum going into the core. Now let me give you a pro tip for this strategy. Use Rage Spells in the beginning of the attack and freezes into the later stages, because Electros are already protected by Warden ability in the beginning, so freezes won't get any further value due to that. So always use them after the Warden ability wears off to protect the Electros in the back end, and crush any Th13 base thrown at you, just like this. At number 4, we have the Yeti Witch Bat attack strategy. Works extremely well on anti-2-star single Inferno bases. This is the basic army composition. Make changes according to the target base. And these are the ideal hero equipments for this strategy. Now, these are the main threats to the bats. We usually take down most of them with the main army, but the main target is always the Town Hall. That's why it works so well on centered Town Hall bases. And once it goes down, the bats will sweep through the remaining base with help of RC and freezes. That's the whole strategy. So here on this base, we will attack from this side since it allows us to take down the eagle nice and early. We will create the funnel on both sides using Electros. Then deploy the line of Yetis, followed by line of Witches and the heroes. They will move in and clear all these things. Wall breakers and log launcher will make them enter the base. And also the king ability around this congested walls will clear that whole area to push them towards the town hall. We will use early warden ability to protect most of our troops and rage spell for the town hall. Once it goes down, we will deploy the RC here to go after this wizard tower and inferno with rocket spear and start the bats here to move this way. They will sweep through the remaining splash defenses with the support of freeze spells. Simple plan. Now let's execute it. Alright, let's start with deploying the Electros for the funneling. Same on the other side as well. Now usually people use Yeti and a couple of witches for the funneling on each side, but I prefer the Electros since they are way cheaper and do the funneling job much better, especially when there are no air defenses on funneling side, like this. And if there's an air defense nearby, you can switch back to Yetis or even use the P.E.K.K.A.s. Alright, the funnel looks solid. Now let's deploy the main army. Yetis, witches, followed by the heroes, and then the log launcher as we planned earlier. We will use the warden ability once it covers most of our troops, because those Yetis doesn't have a lot of health, and they will get vanished in no time. So it's important to protect them from the initial high damage. The king ability is also very important in this attack, so use it wisely on critical area to open up the base. Looks like the queen is going outside of the base, but the rest of our troops took down the town hall and core defenses. So we can start with the bats now. RC will start working on that wizard tower and multi-inferno. And now the bats. Notice how I used that ice golem to tank the wizard tower for them. Now all we have to do is freeze the remaining splash defenses to protect the bats as they get into the range. And that's it. I have already uploaded the full guide on this strategy, so make sure to check it out for the full breakdown. You can find the link in the description and pinned comment, or you can watch directly from the channel page as well. At number 3, we have the Queen Charge Dragon Rider attack strategy. Works great on anti-3-star multi-inferno bases. This is the army composition. Make adjustments according to the target base. And these are the best hero equipments for this strategy. You can also use the Rage Vial and Giant Gauntlet, or the Gauntlet with Earthquake Boots on the King. Now the main and perhaps the only threats to the Dragon Riders are the enemy CC and defending heroes. So we usually do a Queen Charge to take down the CC along with 1 or 2 enemy heroes. The second objective is to create a narrow pathing for the Dragon Riders. The King will also help with that. And then the Dragon Riders will fly through the remaining base, with RC coming in late to help with the back end. That's how this strategy usually works. So here on this base, we will go from this side, since getting the CC is our main target. We will deploy the Queen here, so she can move in and take down the Eagle along with the enemy CC and Minion Prince. Jump spell here will give her further access to go into the core. We will also dive our King into this compartment to go after the RC in this single. So ultimately, the Queen and King together will clear all these things. That will set up this perfect straight path for the Dragon Riders. They will move like this. We will use the Yeti Blimp protected by Warden ability for the Town Hall takedown, and also sneak in some Headhunters to take down the enemy Queen and Warden. With no major threats left, Dragon Riders will easily cruise through the remaining base, and we will use the RC to help them get through the back end. You understood the plan? Now let's put it together. Alright, let's start with deploying the queen. Coco Loon ahead of the healers to search for the black mines as usual. Now, even though this base has open walls, but I still brought the wall breakers just in case if she doesn't cooperate. This is by far the hardest CC for queen charge attacks. So we have to use the freeze along with the poison spell. Use poison on the super minions and freeze the headhunters to easily get through. Also, don't forget to fight the CC troops under rage spell, or the queen will get overwhelmed by all the incoming damage. The frozen arrow on her comes very handy against hard-hitting defenses and defensive heroes with the slowdown effect. Alright, let's deploy the king to push her towards the minion prince. Baby Dragon will funnel him into that single inferno compartment, and we will use his ability once he gets close enough. Now I know many of you guys expected Queen Charge Lalo or Hybrid to be on this list instead of this strategy, but believe me, this strategy is so strong and underrated as hell. It can work fine without King or RC, and with all heroes available, it can even 3-star a Th13 with ease. Perhaps the best Queen Charge attack of Town Hall 13. Alright, the Dragon Riders are out already. Now all we have to do is to catch the Yeti Blimp and Headhunters into the Warden ability. Just like this. Yetis out of the Blimp will easily take down the Town Hall with support of the Rage spell. Now we can also use the Minion Prince instead of RC. But similar to the Electros, they doesn't have good synergy with the Prince, because they move fast and target the defenses, so the Prince will often fall behind and get stuck on the non-defensive buildings left behind. At number 2, we have the double clone Hydra attack strategy. Works on almost any type of bases. This is the basic army composition. Make minor changes according to the target base. And these are the ideal hero equipments for this strategy. If you have the giant arrow below level 12, then switch it out for the magic mirror or invisibility vial. This is a popular base at TH13 and TH12, and you might have already attacked it several times. Now let me show you how to crush it with the double clone Hydra attack strategy in perhaps the easiest way. We will always go from the far side of the town hall. So here on this base, we can go from either this side or this one, as both of them are symmetrical. First, zap out the front-facing sweeper to make sure our troops doesn't have to face any sweeper throughout the attack. Then we will create a solid funnel using Electro on one side and the heroes on the other side. We will use the giant arrow on our queen and angle it to get this air defense. Together with the king, she will clear that entire flank and leave us with this narrow L-shaped path for the dragons and dragon riders. They will move like this. We will send in the battle blimp protected by early warden ability for the town hall and deploy the rage spell and 2 clone spells side by side like this. So the cloned balloons out of it will clear all these things along with the town hall. The Hydra troops will easily clear up the remaining base afterwards, and we will use the Minion Prince ability to get through the congested back end. Enough planning. Let's do the attack now. Alright, let's start with zapping out that sweeper. Now let's deploy the Electro to start working on this side. With no air defenses over this side, it will clear all these things and establish the funnel. Now let's set up for the giant arrow. You need at least level 12 giant arrow to get the air defense at TH13. But if you have it at lower level, or you're not big fan of it like me, then you can also use the magic mirror. Now most people use king on one side and queen on the other side for the funneling in this strategy. But that way, both of them will go down midway through the attack. And if you use them together like this, then they will survive till the end almost every time. Alright, the Hydra is out now already. We will use the Rage and Early Warden ability to protect as many troops as we can with the Battle Blimp. Notice my spell placements here. Try to deploy the clones side by side like this to get good area coverage with the clone balloons. Now, I am not able to explain everything about the strategies here, but I'm trying to cover all the basics while also showing you attacks on all the different types of bases. Consider checking out my Town Hall 13 playlist for a full breakdown of each strategy. And at number 1, the absolute best attack of Th13, we have the Fireball Super Witch attack strategy. Works on any type of bases. This is the general army composition. Make minor adjustments according to the target base. And these are the ideal hero equipments for this strategy. You can change the King and RC's equipments if you want. Now in this strategy, we usually create a funnel with the Fireball. It will be great if we get 1 or 2 major defenses in doing that. But the main objective of the Fireball is to create a straight or L-shaped pathing for the Super Witches. King and SB will further narrow down the path, and then the Super Witches, along with Warden and Queen, will sweep through the entire base. That's how this strategy usually works. Now there's a lot of Fireball value all around this base, but we will go after this scatter compartment. For that, we will deploy the Warden here and let him clear this cannon. Then we will deploy 2 invisibility spells like this. So the Fireball will target the scatter shot and take down all these things on the impact. Earthquake spell will finish off any remaining buildings and leave us with this perfect L-shaped path for the Super Witches. Warden will also join them, and together they will move like this. We will use King and SB on the flank to keep them centralized, and Jump Spell here will give them access to the back end. Sounds like a plan. Now let's make it happen. Alright, let's start with deploying the Wizard to create a little bit of funnel. It will make sure the King and SB troops stays on the flank and don't go into the base. Coco Loon ahead of the healers as usual. The Warden is doing fine so far. Now let's set up for the Fireball. You need at least level 15 Fireball to take down any building other than Town Hall, CC, and Eagle when combined with 1 Earthquake spell. But I highly recommend you to get it all the way up to level 18 for that extra range. Alright, the Super Witches are out now. They can get through any CC troops with the help of a poison spell. Now, let me give you one important tip for Town Hall 13. If you want to play competitive or at high trophy leagues, then I highly recommend you to master the Super Witch and Hydra attack strategy. These two can get you through any Th13 base, and also on higher Town Halls, because both of them are absolute meta at every Town Hall level from 13 to all the way up to 17. You can never go wrong with them. So these are the top 5 best Th13 attack strategies to use in 2025. I hope they will help you in the best way. And if you want to learn more exciting Th13 attack strategies, then check out my Town Hall 13 playlist. I will see you there.